Find the solution set of the inequality 2 over x minus 2 is less than 1 over x plus 3. Alright, so to solve this question, first we need to rearrange this inequality so that at the right hand side is equals to 0. So we bring 1 over x plus 3 to the left hand side. Okay, so it's become this inequality, and then we're going to combine those two fractions to become one fraction. So we're going to cross multiply there. So we have 2 times x plus 3 minus 1 times x minus 2 over x minus 2 times x plus 3 is less than 0. Right, so we expand the numerator. So we get 2x plus 6, okay, minus, so we multiply with negative 1 into x minus 2, we get negative x plus 2, and then 2 minus x is equals to x, and then 6 plus 2 is 8. Alright, so now we simplify, okay, the fraction, okay, and then we're going to factorize it. Right, so we have 3 factor, which is 1 factor on the numerator and 2 factor at the denominator. Alright, so we can solve this using the table of sign. So first we need to find the critical value for each factor. Alright, so at the numerator we have x plus 8. So we equate that equals to 0. So we get x equals to negative 8. And then from the denominator, we have two factor. Okay, the first one is x minus 2 is not equals to 0 because at the denominator, we cannot have 0, okay, because that will be undefined. So we unequate it with 0. So we get x is not equals to 2. And then from the second factor, which is x plus 3, that is also not equals to 0. So that means x is not equals to negative 3. Right, so now we have three critical value, which is at negative 8, 2, and negative 3. Right, so now we're going to form the table. First, we rearrange this value in ascending order. Right, so we start from negative 8, the smallest, and then negative 3, and then the greatest is 2. Alright, so we also include negative infinity and infinity. So now we draw the table. Alright, for the first row is the interval. So we write down the interval. Okay, the first interval is from negative infinity to negative 8. And then from negative 8 to negative 3, negative 3 to 2, and from 2 to infinity. And you can see here, we use, okay, the round bracket or the open parenthesis because, okay, in the inequality there are no equal signs. So that means everything is not included into the interval. Alright, so that is for the first row, which is interval. And then the second row is the test value. So we need to choose a value which is in this interval. Right, so in between negative infinity to 8, let's say we can choose negative 9. And between negative 8 to negative 3, let's say we choose negative 5. And between negative 3 and 2, let's say we choose 0. And then greater than 2, or from 2 to infinity, let's say we choose 3. Right, so we're going to substitute this test value into our fraction, okay, which is x plus 8 over x minus 2 times x plus 3. So we're going to substitute negative 9, negative 5, 0, and 3 into that expression, and we want to know what is the sign. Alright, so the first one we substitute negative 9, we get the value is negative 1 over 66. So what is important is the sign, which is negative. And then we substitute negative 5, we get the value is 3 over 14, which is a positive value. And then we substitute 0 into the expression, we get the value is negative 8 over 6, which is also a negative value. And then we substitute 3, so we get the value is 11 over 6, which is a positive value. Alright, so to determine which interval that we desire, so we do add our inequality here, which is we have less than 0. So less than 0 means that is a negative value. So we just take the interval that are negative. So we just copy back the interval that we have for the negative result, which is from negative infinity to negative 8 or from negative 3 to 2. Right, so but this is in interval form. We want in solution set. So we convert this into a solution set, which is for negative infinity to negative a. This is equivalent to x less than negative 1, or for the interval from negative 3 to 2, this is x between negative 3 and 2. Right, so that is the answer.